Most of my free time is either spent playing whatever game I already own or going online to look at some random videos. And when that happens, I usually end up going down a rabbit hole of different topics, from horror videos to just strange stuff. And that's how I found this game right here, Illbleed. When I saw this game, I really wanted to go into it blind for the first time for my friends, because I thought it'd be really fun. I was expecting a hidden survivor horror gem that nobody has ever heard of, but what I got was more akin to a silly haunted house attraction that was more horror themed but not scary. Illbleed was released in 2001 by a developer called Crazy Games, which was a subsidiary of Climax Entertainment. They also worked on other games like Maze of the Kings and Blue Stinger before they were closed in 2003. Looking for info on Crazy Games, it's really hard because they were really small and crazygames.com, a website completely unrelated, kind of overshadowed it. When you go to their old website though, with the Wayback Machine, it's really bare bones. I'll definitely leave a link down below just in case you do ever want to check it out. The game starts with somebody giving a speech in front of a group of people. Don't know if they're students or what, but that doesn't really matter. What does matter is she speaks about how her father used to be obsessed with creating haunted attractions, and when it's over you learn that she was Erica, the main character and one of many playable characters you get. Your friends come up to you and congratulate you on how well your speech was. They tell you about a new horror theme park called Illbleed that offers a $100 million prize. However, she declines, and after a couple of days she hasn't heard from her friends and decides to go and look for them. Once the intro is finished, you get to the hub world, which is full of different things from Bloody Mary's item shop, where you could buy items and you could take to the next level. However, from what I saw, you can't carry over items from one stage to another, so if you do buy anything from the shop, make sure you're actually gonna need it, or you'll accidentally just be wasting money. Across from there is the Mummy's Photo Shop, where you could save your progress, and you could find them in stages since some of them can be long sometimes. A little further from those two is the ER, where you could get upgrades with artificial body parts that you find in the stages, and where you could revive dead playable characters. But you could only do this if one character died in a stage and you already had another. If you go straight ahead, you'll find the theater, which holds all the different types of stages. Now that you're done with the hub world, you could finally check out how this game plays, and the type of mechanics it uses. On the top of the screen you'll notice 4 different windows. These help you find out what kind of haunt you'll encounter. With sight, it's usually things popping out from things that you can see like pictures and TVs. Hearing is sound related items like haunted radios or phones. With smell, it's something I can't really put my finger on. I know vents is guaranteed smell, but I don't know other items. The sixth sense just helps you find items and how close you are to them, and I believe they could also help you find out when enemies are nearby. If all 4 of them go off at the same time, it means the horror monitor is nearby, which is an item that helps you detect what items can be haunted and lets you deactivate them. The game doesn't tell you about it, and I don't know why. It's probably in the manual, but where on earth will I get a completely intact copy of Illbleed, a fucking unknown Dreamcast game with the manual included? I know you could find it easily online, but not even like a little hint? Like, come on. Now that you have the horror monitor, you need to keep your eye on your adrenaline on the left, since it's required to deactivate traps. On the right is your heartbeat, and if it gets too high, then you either faint at the start of every encounter, making you unable to move till the time is up, or till you get hurt. You could use items to replenish your strength, stamina, and adrenaline, and there's items to stop your bleeding and lower your heart rate. When going through stages, you run into different monsters who obviously try to kill you, so what you could do is either kill them using your really pathetic slap, or use a weapon when you find one. You could also use ranged weapons like guns and even a flamethrower, or you could try to flee the battle by going next to the helipad on the floor and mashing B, so a ladder comes from the sky and takes you away. Try not to get into combat too much since it does increase your heart rate with each encounter. Whenever you finish a level and you saved one of your friends, it gives you a brand new character you could take. And while you were in the level, you may have picked up some artificial body parts that you could use to upgrade your stats, from lowering your blood loss, giving you more adrenaline, stamina, or increasing how fast your heart rate goes back down. Each character has different stats for these things, so you could either use all your upgrades on one character and make them the super duper horror survivor, or just equal everyone off in case you die and don't get left with the character with much worse stats than your last. This game is more of a fun, dumb romp against different stories, so for the most part, they could be rearranged in any order and it would still play just fine. The game isn't too long and I would much rather others actually enjoy it on their own, with everything being a wonderful surprise. So, instead of going through every single stage in secret, I'll go through one of the shorter stages to show you how wacky the story can be, and it only gets better. Now you've reached the obligatory Kohai Fumo Fumo Koishi Koishi and or Tewi Tewi Fumo section of the video, and basically where I show my appreciation for my Fumos and the various abuse I put them through. It's not on purpose, but it still happens. Not limited to throwing. I'd rather not like sleep on top of my Fumo. Here, imagine this. Sorry for losing your hat multiple times. I still find it, but still. Koishi's hat usually like falls like behind my bed, so there's like multiple days where she's without her hat. And Tewi, she kind of gets like roughed up by like because I have so many plushies on my like bed, and she like gets in between my pillows and my plushies, so like her ears get really tangled up. But yeah, bye bye. You too. Going into the stage, this one's about a farmer named David who has a daughter named Rachel, which he cares for immensely. When you get dropped in, you're in this ditch and have to look for your horn monitor. However, when you find it, a wild monkey monster appears out of nowhere and steals it. There isn't any traps here, so you don't have to worry about getting it back right away. The stage has giant worms that burrow underground and attack you if they catch up to you. Further down the path ahead of you is the convenience store with someone inside who won't let you in. Across from that is a garage with a giant exit sign, so when you go inside of it, you find your friend Rochelle on the floor with 3 monkey monsters over her. You have to take care of them and save your friend, then the main gate opens up. With this part of the stage, I did get stuck here for a bit. Not because it was hard or anything, but since I totally forgot about being able to jump. To the left of the gate, there's a car you're supposed to jump onto and get a baby bottle. However, like a complete fucking idiot, I just kept going through the dirt, which had a much bigger worm that would just pop out and just attack you. Alright. After you get the baby bottle, you can return to the store and the person inside of you will let you in. You find a diary telling you that David lived off of selling worms, and in the end, since the price for the worms were lowering, he had to sign a contract with this company who wanted his land so they could build some fancy camping site. Instead of helping him, they cheated him and only made him work for a store, which angered him. They cemented his farm and cut the forest immediately, causing all the wild monkeys around to die. David was worked to death, leaving Rachel alone without him. The gate behind the store opens and you're free to roam the back area with lots of billboards in the house far back. You see a body on the floor, and when you approach it, it gets up a bit and just says, "Dummy Man." Other than that, there's nothing notable except for the house, which, when you go inside, there's a diary telling you that Rachel was a worm the whole time. Rachel was the first worm that David bought, and she slipped out of his hand and fell into a gas tank. But instead of dying, she drank the gas and it only started to grow larger and larger. You find a wrench and a flamethrower, and with this wrench, you have to loosen the bolts for the Dummy Man billboards, which will give you a path to jump on, so Rachel doesn't get you. You drop them so you're able to reach the gas tanks in the far back, which you used to fill up the car next to the store and drive to the exit. However, before you could leave, you have to take care of Rachel and reunite her back with David. In a really amazing sequence, like, come on, you just can't look at this and not laugh at how dumb and nice it is. And with that, you're finished with the shortest level, which you're supposed to be under 30 minutes if you're fast enough. However, because I got stuck like an idiot, it took me around an hour. Things can get pretty hectic for your first playthrough, mostly since the mechanics are really taboo compared to games today. And it was back then where it was a lot more normal for weird and not so successful ideas to fly around. But if you're able to get into the groove of this, then you'll generally find an enjoyable time on your hands. Especially when playing it for a group of friends. once
one
again.
random.
Dude, it took half my health.
Narrow escape.
I'm fucking having a heart attack right in the game. Just because like two random guys just came out of nowhere, started kicking my ass. By the way, after writing my script and getting this stuff done, I decided to check out who actually done work on the game. And it turns out that one of the map designers, Tetsuro Sugimori, also the producer of Onechambara, Bikini Samurai Squad. Oh boy, I might definitely check that out someday. Bye bye. Hi. Damn. Damn. You actually clicked this? What? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your click a lot. This video's actually been like in the works for like, God, would it be like a year now? Multiple months. That's all I know. I don't think it has been a year because I actually started this plan when I was still VTubing, and that, oh, I haven't done that in forever. Don't worry about this chair right here. Just being stupid. Yeah. Thanks for clicking. And